let's get ready as I tell you my birth story. Now, there may be a part two to my birth story, but I'll do the best that I can to try to do it under 10 minutes. But if anything, yeah, I'll do a part two. So in my last video that I was giving my birth or my pregnancy update, I was 8 months pregnant, and I was supposed to be due on December 8th, my due date, but it actually happened November 14th. And I'm gonna tell you how that happened. Now, I always say expect the unexpected, which is very, very true. You could have a birth plan of however way you want it to go, but the unexpected did happen to me. So when you're closer to your due date, you go frequently more to your doctor's appointment, just so that way they can check up on you, see how you're doing, see how the baby is doing. Well, I went to my doctor's appointment, and one of the nurses there was, I think she was new, or I don't know. She might have been new. I'm not 100% sure because I was going there a lot and I didn't recognize this specific nurse, but I didn't really care. She was taking my blood pressure, and when my blood pressure was red on the monitor, she kind of had this confusing face, like a very uneasy, confusing face, like, And so in my head, I'm thinking, okay, what's wrong? What's going on? And she was like, okay, what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to take the blood pressure from one arm to the other arm. So I'm going to leave the room for a little bit, have you relax, sit down, calm down, just try not to stress, and I'll be back in a few minutes. So I was like, okay. And in my head, I'm like, I'm not stressing. I don't feel anything bad, or I don't know, like I feel normal. So she comes back into the room and she takes my blood pressure again on my other arm. And then she still has that confusing face look. And it worries me a little bit because I'm like, okay, what's really going on? So I asked her, I was like, is everything okay? And she was like, yeah, everything is fine. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the doctor. I'm going to have her take a look at your blood pressure and see what's going on. So I was like, okay. And she leaves the room. She goes, gets my doctor. And my doctor takes my blood pressure as well. And she was like, okay, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you go to the hospital, and where just for a reference, my doctor's office is right next to the hospital that I was planning on giving birth to my son. So it was literally like you get out of the parking lot, go to your right, and then boom, the hospital's like right there, which was very, very convenient. And she said, I'm going to have them check you in and check you out, see how you're doing. I'll give them a call right now, let them know that you're on the way, and who knows, maybe you'll have the baby today or tomorrow. And I was like, today or tomorrow? Girl, I'm not due until December 8th. There's no way. So I drive myself to the hospital, and when I get there, I was on the phone with my husband, and I told him what was going on. And he was like, why would she say that you're going to have the baby today or tomorrow? And I was like, I don't know. Like, I really don't know. But what do you want for dinner type of vibe? Because I was planning on, after my doctor's appointment, opening up all of our baby shower presents and get the room started. Because, again, the baby wasn't due until December 8th. So I told my husband, as soon as I get home, after all this, I'm going to go to the store, get us something to make for dinner, and then we're going to go through all the baby shower presents, say thank you to everybody, send them like a text or whatever, and we'll organize his room. So I get to the hospital, And I check in with the nurses. I said, oh, my doctor called and said that I needed to come in. And the nurse was like, yeah, I just got off the phone with her. So what I'm going to have you do is go into this room. We're going to check your blood pressure, see how you're doing. And I was like, okay. And I go in and they give me a hospital gown. So when they gave me a hospital gown, I was like, in my head, I was saying, wait, this means that I'm staying the night, because they wouldn't give you a hospital gown just to give you one. So I texted my husband. I was like, they gave me a hospital gown. And he was like, what? They gave you a hospital gown? I'm like, yeah, but I don't think it's anything bad. I don't know if I'm staying the night or I don't know what's going on. And he was like, well, I just barely got off of work. I'm at home right now. I'm about to eat. Should I eat or should I go? I was like, no, go ahead. You eat. I'm sure everything is fine, but I'll keep you updated. So I changed into the hospital gown and I lay down in the bed where they hooked me up with monitors and all that stuff. And the nurse was checking my blood pressure. And she said, okay, we're going to bring another nurse and we're going to see how far you're dilated. So I'm like, okay. And this nurse comes in and he checks to see how far I'm dilated. And he said, okay, well, so far you're 0 dilated. And I'm like, yeah, duh, because I'm not due yet. Like, and he was saying, you're 0 dilated, but we're going to make sure that you and the baby are okay. And let's just say you're leaving here not pregnant. So I'm like, are you telling me that I'm giving birth today? And he was like, don't worry, you're in good hands. And I'm like, wait, hold on. I just want to know, because I don't like when people sugarcoat stuff on me. Like, just say it bluntly so that way I can understand. And especially because I have pregnancy brain at that time, things aren't registering in my head. So I'm like, hold on. Are you saying that I'm having the baby? And he said, you're in good hands. You're going to get well taken care of. And this is what happens when preeclampsia. And I'm like, wait, hold on. What's preeclampsia? And he said it's high blood pressure. So when he was explaining it to me about preeclampsia, he was saying that they think that it's stemming from the placenta, but I was just like, is it because of something that I ate? Is it because I've been working a lot? Like, how does this work? And he was just saying, we don't know exactly how preeclampsia works. All I know is that we're thinking that it's coming from the placenta. But again, you're totally fine. Everything is going to be okay. And I just instantly started crying because I'm like, I'm not ready. I don't have my hospital bag ready. The room isn't ready. Like, so many things were running in through my head. And I was texting my husband. I was like, babe, you're going to have to come here to the hospital. You're going to have to Uber it. And he was like, why? And I couldn't answer his text messages because they were talking to me and all that other stuff, until finally I was able to call him. And he was like, well, let me know. You got to let me know because I'm ordering a $70 Lyft or Uber or whatever to get to the hospital. And I was like, I don't care if it's $100. You have to come like now type of situation. They're saying that I'm going to have the baby. And I just started crying on the phone with him. And he was like, don't worry, I'm on my way. He was like, I'll be there as fast as I can. And things get a little bit crazier. So, like I said, there will be a part 2. So go ahead and head over to part 2 of my birth story.